Did you know when they did the movies, like they were clapping so they could sync the audio with the video because they were two separate systems? We'll see how that works today. Because I'm using a different system to record this video. I don't have one of the little mics, the lapel mics, to do, to be cute and current. That's cool. Right now, we're going to use what we have. So, today we're going to talk about the importance of doing what you want to do. Now, this is somewhat separate from people talking about they're doing it for the plot, but not all the way separate. And not all the way separate because I do think it helps to frame your life in terms of if I were reading this story, would it be exciting to me? And I think that sometimes because we're so worried about fulfilling other people's insert thing promises, trying to live up to their expectations of us, that sometimes we can completely end up living a life that was acceptable for others but unfulfilling to ourselves. And I say that because I have an engineering degree and I hate being in the office. One thing I will say is that it affords me when I do need to go out, make some paper, and come back. I can do that. But it once I got in the workplace, it didn't resonate with me. And as a kid, I actually went and got the degree because I said, oh, I want to be an inventor. So I read the description of mechanical engineering, and it basically, when I finished reading the description, that I felt like I could make things that I wanted to invent. So never was I ever trying to be somebody's. Now, in the course of postgraduate, I have changed careers. So I started toward the end of my college career. I was into biomedical engineering, and I was like, I really like this lab experience. Plus, the woman. So I did a short stint at Cornell. It was for what was that for? A summer program in the biomedical engineering department. And the grad student that I was there with, when I asked her, like, hey, why did you decide to do a PhD in biomedical engineering? And she said she didn't know. Everybody just seemed bored, like they were following a certain track, either bored or so driven that I know I didn't have that drive and passion for that specifically. I went to grad school at Tulane for a very brief amount of time. And that's when I finally was like, yeah, this is me. I'm not seeing myself in a lab environment and, for the next 5 years in order to get this. And then, like, we have to think about the things that we're doing. We're using our lifetime to do them. So I got out and I went to aerospace just because of the money, to be honest. Because biomedical, I was on what was a healthy student stipend, but it wasn't engineering money. It wasn't. Then when I stopped doing that, I went to work for myself a little bit. Me and a couple friends started a construction company. I was like, I'm tired of being in the office. Don't like it. I would prefer to be outside. They were gung-ho about it. I was gung-ho. I was like, yes, this fits. Now I'm in the season where I don't think construction fits anymore, not in that capacity. I'm structuring my life such that it looks like how I want it to look, which is, yes, still building things and developing, but I don't care about people office projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about doing an interior renovation of an office that somewhat looks just as bland as it did before, or turning a warehouse, and then I don't know, it's just, I do know it's also the fatigue of having your work and your life be judged by someone. And I mean that, like, I have these ideas and things for construction and development, but I'm not able to fully get those out because that's not the way that we do things. And I think a lot of us go into professions and into things like with our ideas. If we actually are genuinely going into them we go into them with our ideas and our creativity. And then when we actually get there, we kind of end up being forced to maintain the status quo. And if you don't want to do that, you can, but there are repercussions, meaning you might have to figure it out on your own. If somebody else is signing your checks, they want you to do it how they want it done. And that's fine. It's only a very few amount of people in a very specific sectors that allow you to come in and value your creativity, your input, and everything else. Everyone else kind of just wants you to be like, how good of a worker ant are you? A lot of people, a lot of industries are afraid of some innovation and change. I think that's a human. But in between that, I've traveled. I accidentally backpacked one time. I did stand up, like had a career in stand up for like a year or two. I don't remember, but I made a decent name for myself. Like, had a home comedy club open for Faison Love and some other people, or hosted for him. Open for some others. Had some shows at some prominent spots in St. Louis, and that was fun. And so that this is where the do it for the plot comes in. It's like, I absolutely have made it a point to transition and pivot when I feel called. Has that come with some hardships? So I didn't say after I got out of that aerospace job, came back to the city and got into real estate, and that's kind of where my real estate / construction journey. I don't know if I made that clear, but basically, when I look back, I'm pretty satisfied. There's still mountains that I'm climbing, goals, but I do what I feel, whether that's travel, whether that's trading, starting my own businesses and really getting in the weed. Like, how do I build this? My other goal is to, just to continue to build businesses out with systems and really like understand the intricacies of how things work, and then tweaking them to work how I want in that specific way. And it's been great. I personally don't think I would have been able to last, like, spiritually, if I would have tried to stay. I get sick. When I'm not somewhere I don't want to be, I don't have much time. My spirit says, yeah, it's time to go. I need to be making waves. And honestly, even if it's not a physical sickness, I do see some of those signs of other people when they're somewhere they're not supposed to be. And I understand that people can't always do exactly what they want to do exactly when they want to do it. There are people who have other obligations, people to take care of, themselves to take care of, trying to keep a roof over their head, stay fed, all that type of stuff. Completely understand. But even if you can't, still do it for the plot on the side. Do not just let them be having you going home, going to work, that's it. I think what has kept my spirit alive and vivacious, what's a good word, is that I still find time to do what I want. Even when I was having to work for other people, which I just stopped a little bit ago. Even when I have to do that, I'm still playing flag. I'm still hanging out, socializing, getting cute, getting dressed up, going out, writing books, writing scripts. What else? Just so many things. And I just plug away a little bit every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm also educating myself different parts of the law and stuff like that, like as it pertains to me and real estate and stuff like that. And it's just do it for you. Like you don't, and also you don't have to do everything at once. I think that is a major thing that some of us can get to absolute thinking, where it's like, if I can't do everything that I want to do absolutely right now, then I'm just not going to do anything. And that's not the way to do it either. Like, do it 5 minutes a day. This especially pertains to fitness, because that also feels like it's not a zero-sum game. If we know that you can't get six-pack abs and obliques tomorrow, but that doesn't mean you should not start absolutely today. And allow your progress, allow your projects to compound over time. And I put on my mirror, I'm like, build a body of work. Build a body of work, whether that's a body of work of your physical, the doing 20 push-ups at night and increasing when you feel called by 10 or 5 or whatever you feel called to, but doing it consistently. Or I wrote a short story this month. I write a short story a month. If you're a writer, think about what that will be later. Think about how that compounds over the next 10 years. Like, a lot of us are planning on being here for a minute. You don't have to do a ton. You do a collection of 30 short stories. That's a book. You do one a month. That's just 2 years and you got a book. You're a published author now. Just from doing something like chipping away. And it's so funny when people reach out to me and ask me, what do I do? I'm like, okay, I know what they're asking. Like, I'm in construction or I trade, but I'm living. I'm doing what I feel called. I don't feel pigeonholed. I feel capable of doing whatever I'm called to do, because I'm the one that's called to do it. So when I'm playing flag, which I'll be playing with the US 8 Nationals team this in May, or this next month. Again, me doing stand up, I wasn't like, whoa, how did I get here? I'm like, yeah, I stepped out. I had a calling to do a thing, stepped out, and now I'm doing it. I don't see that's a part of just the belief, and to me it's a part of being human. Like, if we decided to work on spinning a plate on our nose and we consistently did it, eventually we would get it. That is my philosophy about the beauty of being human, is that if you try it enough times, more than likely you're going to end up figuring it out. Now, what that time frame looks like, we don't know, but I do have a deep-seated belief that is the case. And so when you're thinking about living a full life, know that it will be comprised of a lot of moments over time. It won't be always these one singular, massive, large moments that all change everything. Now, sometimes it is, and that's good. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, in meaning things that we see as positive and negative in your life is changed in that instant. But for the most part, most of our experiences are the collection of small everyday things, and our life experience ends up being what those small collection of things yielded. So if you smoked for however much, there's a high probability that the culmination of those moments won't yield to the best thing. But if you did, again, a short story every month, out with the girls every other month, a big trip with the family every 6 months, and over a course of 30, 40, 50 years, that's a good life. That's a good life. And you've built a body of work. Again, not only just experiences for the things that were experience based or experiential, I think is what the word is, but for the things that you wrote. Like, imagine anybody reading it, but the people that you love reading it, your kids, grandkids, if you desire to have kids, or just somebody in posterity reading your short stories or your jokes or your sketches or your skits. And when you put those skits on video and put them on the internet, people watching those in 15 years, 10 years, even if you only did 4 in a lifetime, amazing. Like, amazing. I think that's amazing. I've had dabbles into acting, but I plan, again, when I'm writing stuff, I'm considering myself putting myself and others in these roles, and just trying to, just because I feel called, not for clout, for experience, for a full-bodied life experience. Please do it. Please do it. I'm not even going to say YOLO, because I don't know that. And I've even had memories that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, wait, that wasn't from this lifetime. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know that this is probably my only time living as Kendra, with my family being who they are, with these other people around me, being who they are in this specific time, circumstances. Like, it's probably like, why not? Let me live. That doesn't mean skipping out on the things that I have to do. There's an element of discipline to this. But I'm definitely saying take full of travel. Don't think that you have to do it with money. There's people, when I went backpacking, there was people that did not look like me that had been out there for 6 months, a year. They would work at hostels for food and shelter, and get money doing other odd jobs or art along the way, or jewelry. Like, get creative. Unbind your thinking. And there's so much to be seen. There's so much to do that we actually can do. And it's just like, figure it out. Ask questions. Try. Just see how far you can get. Don't take even the first 3 no's as an answer. Find another way. The beautiful part about problem solving is there are multiple ways to get to an answer. So with what you want to do, even if one way is blocked, there's surely another way. And make it fun in finding it. Like, you have to be based in a level of curiosity. Like, just see what's in this direction and what happens if you do this. I feel like too often we do that with negative things. Like, let's just see if I do it for the plot. It's with some terrible person in some terrible relationship. Like that. We didn't really need to do it for the plot. Tyler Perry has done all the plots of that type of genre. We're good. Like, do it for the plot with travel. Do it for the plot with building a business. Do it for the plot with writing a book. Do it for the plot with something else, like not destructive. Because it really does edify you. I truly believe that it expands your mind and your thinking overall, which that you pass down. It's infectious to the people that are around you. You come in a more edified person in general, and so you then edify every space that you step into, and every person that you meet, that you talk long enough to make a connection with. And so yeah, this is my first time in a while getting out there. I think I'm about to hit the time that I kind of want to be at because I don't want to do too much. I think when I come back, the conversations will just be little shorter, little sweeter, not too short, but enough to get the job done. And it's funny, the older I get, the more I want to step back, but then the more I'm also feeling called to step forward. Um, yes, and I will practice getting better, doing better videos, better audio, better video quality, deeper topics. Yeah, happy to be here. Hope everybody is doing well. See you guys soon. Peace.